When reality is just not good enough, how can you still wow your audience? Hello and welcome to your content boosting tip of the week from Captain, helping you plan, direct and perfect smartphone video content to build trust with your audience and enhance your brand. Now then, Kiss are one of the biggest rock bands the world has ever seen. If you want to talk about branding, man, there is your branding. Four fellas emerge in 70s America playing what could generously be described as serviceable rock tunes, but as a result of a simple face painting exercise, a total commitment to the illusion, and a bassist with a keen eye for trademark law, they went viral 50 years before going viral was cool. They were larger than life superheroes, selling an escape from the humdrum existence of everyday life. Now, there's definitely a lot to be said there about the timeless power of branding and positioning, but ultimately, as far as Kiss go, it was all a fake. It was all an act. Gene Simmons, aka The Demon, doesn't gargle blood and spit fire wearing 15-inch silver heels at home. Ace Frehley, the space ace, isn't an off-world life form come to dazzle us with his stellar riffs. And that's fine, because it's all just show business razzle-dazzle after all. But that's not what Captain's about, and it's certainly not where smartphone video is at its best. If you're trying to get people to film something on their phones and then make something special from the results at your end, you'll need to make an important shift in mentality from the traditional slick methods usually at play in video production. What you want to capture is some genuine authenticity. That means no scripts, if at all possible. It means no razzle-dazzle trickery. It means the initial result being a little rough and ready, prioritizing feel over slickness, at least in the filming stage, where time is of the essence and you need to just get the building blocks on the table. So how can Kiss help when it comes to the next stage, to the editing? Well, I heard Paul Stanley, who is the lead singer, the star child and keeper of the creative flame in Kiss, I heard him talk about how they actually produced their live albums. Now, if you know your Kiss history, and I'm a casual academic in the subject at best, you'll know that it was the live album Alive that really catapulted them to superstardom. There's an energy, a vibe, an intangible fizz of life that's just not present on their own studio offerings, and none of it had anything to do with their stage show. Of course, that's not a phenomenon unique to Kiss. Nirvana's Unplugged in New York, Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous, Queen at Wembley. The list of transcendent live recordings goes on and on. So on the face of it, it's a simple equation. It's live, right? So you just go and record the live gig and the results will instantly be magical. Well, not so fast, my friend. Paul Stanley's point was, when you're at a gig, there are so many intangible factors that colour the way you remember it after the event. The stage show, the heat, the sheer volume, the psychic crackle of the atmosphere, the sweat of your fellow fans, the pleasant buzz from your vodka and orange juice. That's a niche reference. Anyway, in any case, your memory is completely divorced from the reality of the gig. And if you were to hear the raw live audio recordings of the night, your first response would almost certainly be, why does it sound so rubbish? The specific example Paul Stanley gave was the pyrotechnic explosions on Alive. If you were there on the night, they were ear-splitting, floor-shaking, hammer of the gods blasts, but on the raw live recording, they sounded like wet farts. The reality just wasn't good enough. So what did they do? They went and properly recorded an actual cannon going off and added that to the record alongside loads of other sweeteners. Oh, and guess what? When it's incredibly loud, you can't hear musicians making mistakes, going out of time, snapping strings. That all needs sorting. And you think they sang in tune the whole time? Not so much. Time to make some tweaks there too. Stanley said that the aim with a live album isn't to painstakingly document the reality of what happened on the night, but rather to recreate how the audience thought they felt when they were there, whether that was true or not. That might sound like even more showbiz fakery, but the fact that most of the live, basic building blocks they were working with were real means the end result occupies that sweet spot between authenticity and polish. That's where the magic happens. It's rough enough to be believable, but there's enough craft there to elevate it and turbocharge the results. And the same is true for user-generated video. We call it the Captain's sweet spot. If you just go straight with what was recorded on a smartphone, the results may be a little flat, to say the least. This kind of content needs a little bit of TLC from the editing side of things to reach its full potential, but it's usually deceptively simple, and you can end up with something magical. For instance, you can cut the waffle to transform someone's rambling 5-minute interview into 30 seconds of poetry, cover the cuts with some other shots you asked them to get, add some decent music, some graphics templates, some subtitles, and all of a sudden you've magicked something into existence that would traditionally have been impossible to achieve without a full video crew in attendance. And when you crack that sweet spot formula, I can tell you from experience, it's an amazing feeling. It's also an incredibly powerful position to be in, because if your contributors might previously have been hesitant, or perhaps not the ideal candidate for a full-blown expensive video shoot, things get really interesting. In that scenario, you're basically proving that you don't have to be an extroverted, face-painted demon of rock in order to get your voice heard. by walking the line between razzle dazzle and reality, you can make something better than both. And with the Capture Captain app, you can bring anyone, anywhere along for the ride. Now, what could be more rock and roll than that? I'll see you next time. Until then, this is Captain, helping you plan, direct, and perfect smartphone video content to build trust with your audience, to enhance your brand, and take reality to the next level. Oh yeah! No one will even know what any of that means, the little in jokes. Let's roll with it.